So those that you don't know, this is a cutting board right here. But the problem is it's got different levels right here. You can see it right here, and then the glue and everything. I don't have a surface planer, so I need to level this out. This here is a router jig, and what it does is it allows it to go back and forth and up and back, and the Z part, the up and down, is the actual router itself. As you can see, I took one light pass. It looks like it got all this, but it didn't get it down to here, so it's not totally flat. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it down just a little bit more so that I can get this, and then I'm going to run a pass and see what I have left after that. Okay, as you can see, it made it all the way to the edge. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, now you see there's these marks from the surface bit. Now I just got to sand that down with 60 grit and then step it up to 180 and all like that. So I'll show you that later on. Okay, so I already flattened this slab. Now I want to sand it to 60 to get rid of all these marks that you see and a little bit of chip out that the surfacing bit made. So I'll show you when I get done, all right? All in all, I think it looks pretty good. It got rid of, there was a few glue marks that I thought I was going to have to take off. There's just a few spots that you can see. I'm going to hit it one more time. But all in all, that's pretty good. So now it's time to do the other side. And I got a question for you guys. Why do you guys raise the grain? Well, let me tell you. If you don't know, raising the grain means just getting it wet due to the fibers. When you're sanding, it tears them, and the first time that you get them wet, it'll actually raise the fibers and they'll stand up on end. And if you've ever felt wood that's real rough, that's probably what happened. I actually last night I pre-soaked it, and then I let it sit overnight and all day, and now I sanded it, and I'm getting ready to put the oil on it to let it sit for 24 hours. So. I'll show my process on that coming up, but for now, talk to you guys later. So here, I've got my board prepped, my cutting board prepped, and now I'm just pouring the cutting board oil all over it. And here, I'll let it sit for 24 hours, and then when I get back from work tomorrow, I'll go ahead and I'll buff it out, and then I'll put the hard wax on. It's from the same company, Walrus Oil. No walruses were killed for this. It's just an oil. And I get it, as you can tell, I get it on there nice and thick. And I might even have to add some more oil to it. But maybe you could see it, the shine. Just let it soak in. Get the edges all good. That is beautiful, isn't it? Look at that, guys. All right, I'll let that dry for 24 hours, then I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow. So this is what it looks like after the oil's dried on the cutting board for about 24 hours. I'm just going through here and just kind of buffing this out. You can see kind of it changed a little bit. Just get some of the fibers off, from the rag that I used last night. And then I've got this board butter that I'm going to put down right here. I'll put it on the board and I'll show you what that kind of looks like. So as you guys can see, there's a little bit of butter from here that I put on here, and all I'm doing is I'm just rubbing it in, and I'll show you what it looks like after a second. So this is what it looks like after I get the board butter on, and basically it's just a lot of wax with some mineral oil and whatnot in it, and what it'll do is it'll lock in that oil and moisture from last night and a little bit that's in it today, and then I'll come back in and I'll buff it clean, and we'll see what it looks like after that. So this is what it looks like the next morning. You can still see the swirls from the wax. I'm going to buff those out, and then you should not be able to see a lot of that. So I'll show you what it looks like after. All right, there it is. There's the cutting board, all done, nice and buffed out. Doesn't that look good? Trying to find a trying to find a good angle of it for you guys. All right, well, that's it.